Hello everyone, Shadefire here, and welcome back to Let's Play Apsulov, End of Gods. This is episode 7. So last time was a bit of a short episode, and yet in that time we managed to fall into a damp hole full of leeches, retrieve the final key of Apsulov as well as Odin's Eye, insert the key of Apsulov, which turned out not to be a great idea because when we used the Eye of Odin to destroy Loki's little hidey hole, it turned out that we were following his plan all along, and all we did is permanently open the gates between worlds and free Loki to try and take them over, I guess. And then we died. So now we're here in Helheim, and need to kind of just find what we're going to do. We don't have our arm, we don't have our eye, and we don't have the ability to respawn anymore. However, since the gates between worlds are all open now, and Helheim is one of the 9 realms, we should be able to find our way back. This really does look like some kind of Khazad-dûm, dwarven architecture kind of place. Like a crumbling dwarven ruin. Though surprisingly well lit down here. Which is good, because again, we don't have our eye, so we can't enhance the light. And I'm sure you remember those fellas. Those are the ones that have ripped our first arm off. And we're pretty much as defenseless now as we were then, so don't want to run into them. They are actually pretty nasty little things, design-wise. However, we are in the clear for the moment, so let's just sprint. Run at full speed through hell. They're like really small versions of Dark Souls' gaping dragon with their chest maw. They also make a pretty good, like, disturbing bone spider sound with the way they walk. Those ones are resting, though. They just kind of sleep wherever they want. A lot of dead people down here, though, considering the whole, realm of the dead. It's not the only place the dead people end up in this mythology, but it is basically where half of them go, with I think the other half going to Valhalla. Though I've also read some other mentions of specific people going to specific other places, like there's a place for dead sailors that belongs to the water god. But I think, for the most part, most people either end up here or in Valhalla, depending on if they were warriors or not. And I guess blasting things with our magic hand did not make us a warrior. Ominous laughter. Sounded like someone just got knifed back there. Again, this game is full of unsettling sounds. Ha! You won't cross that ledge, will you? For some reason. I mean, they could just climb down, but they won't. Yeah, that's a familiar green glow over there. And we found some more sad spirits. There's like nobody here in this dead place that doesn't look miserable. Except us, I guess. We're not standing around weeping. Alright. So we've got a gap here that we can't cross. I'm honestly wondering for a second here, I'm like, can I jump on those chains and like sequence break across this gap? But no. I don't think we can. However, there is a root of Yggdrasil up there, so let's see where it leads. Because Yggdrasil seems to reach into the 9 worlds. No matter what. Alright, and conveniently, this route didn't lead us into another world, it led us back into Midgard. Specifically, it led us into the facility. So that was a coincidence that is in our favor. However, we still don't have our arm, we still don't have our eye. All we've really got is our knowledge of the facility.
Note 7. The gods have blessed us with a new discovery. The blood of Loki seems to be the key to immortality. It is said to have magical healing capabilities. This is great news. Soon, the grasp of sickness will be lifted from you.
So yes, the blood that everybody drank that made them into those skinless monstrosities was Loki's blood, which Dr. Anderson told everybody to drink to become immortal. This guy clearly did not become immortal. So because we don't have our Jarngreipr, we also don't have our clearance, since all of that was scanned into the arm, which means we can only go through doors that it will let us go through. Without clearance. We don't really have much of a choice to sneak here. Kind of just have to go for it. Not sure what the point of these doors are. They just lead you along the side. And there is a level 8 clearance door. So even if we had our arm, we couldn't get through there. You can see that there's a power cell in there. Thankfully, we don't need magic or anything to be able to activate these arms. Or orbs. So this is a part of the facility we didn't see earlier. But all of the areas do lead back into the central section where the Apsulov is. Alright. So we're actually on a giant elevator here. And we just need to wait for it to arrive. Of course, as you might imagine, that doesn't mean just standing here, because there are some of these creatures on our elevator. So you kind of have to just play cat and mouse here to avoid them until we reach the top, because they do patrol around. I guess as long as they don't notice me, this is a lot easier. Once they notice you, you pretty much just have to run from them the whole time. Alright, nearly there. I think that one's going to turn around, so let's kind of shimmy back this way. Looks like there's only 2 of them. There might be a third one over on the other side. I can definitely hear more of them creaking and cracking. Well, that actually went pretty well. The first time I did this, I got seen, like, immediately, and had to just run in circles, jumping over them the whole time. Anything over here? There is battery. They're actually not that quick when they're upright like that. You'd think they would go down on their legs and chase you, but they don't. I wonder where this leads. Like, do you think that goes up to the surface, that tunnel? And that's how they get this material in and out? Alright. Made it out of there. Got a charging station here, but, again, no arms, so we can't charge.
Mythology research, note 8. This will be the last note for a while. A lot of things have happened, and we did some research on the god of mischief, Loki, in note 2. The myth tells the story of the mischievous god Loki being locked underground forever, with acid slowly dripping on his flesh.
That would explain his skeletal form.
To make sure that Loki could never deceive anyone ever again with his shapeshifting, a mask was melted onto his skin with powerful magic to ruin the attractive face Loki was so fond of. The mask would not only make sure that if the shapeshifting god would ever escape his imprisonment, he could be recognized, it would also start interfering with the shapeshifting itself. It would cause Loki to lose control of his form, to stop him from purposefully taking any specific shape or form, effectively ending his days of deception.
And that explains the mask. So yeah, even if he wanted to shapeshift, he wouldn't be able to pick what he turns into. Though it's interesting that Loki does have more of an effeminate voice. I guess it's supposed to be kind of an androgynous, both genders voice because he's a shapeshifter. Alright. Now this is the same room we died in. And this guy is still here. He will just forever patrol this upper level, even though I'm pretty sure I disintegrated him. Alright. Let's go retrieve our arm, shall we? Still didn't get the code to this door. So, he said that by putting all the Apsulov keys in, we permanently destroyed the gate, but, like, what if we just take the keys out? It's like a one-time activation thing? Well, there's the body of Fenrir, which is who that was supposed to be. One of the sons of Loki. Yeah, he didn't seem too fond of him, though. And look! There's us. Yep. I guess when we came out of Helheim, we generated a new body. Because there's ours, and there's our Jarngreipr. Now we'll just slot it back on, right? You can fit your arm right into the middle. guess, now that we have that, we should go talk to Henrik. See how he's doing. Because it sounds like Loki revealed his deception to him as well, about the fact that this whole time, the voice of Sarah was just Loki. It was, guiding us along towards accomplishing our goals. Oh boy. Ow. I cannot afford to be punched to death by you. Also, forgot the elevator's actually on the side we were just on. So let's just run back. I mean, we have Jarngreipr now, but we can't actually use it, of course, since it's not attached to us.
Floor 2.
We can't just, hold it out. Oop. I missed the selection. So yeah, Loki was also preventing us from going to this floor before. Since I guess being trapped in the realm that he was trapped in didn't prevent him from possessing these machines. Hence why he was like, oh, I don't have to work through these disgusting machines anymore. So I guess that was a loophole in his containment. And hey, we're going to save here again, but this time we're not going to be ending an episode here. The good doctor seems to be a bit beside himself after our death.
Henrik!
I didn't finish it. I'm so sorry. I couldn't finish it. You have to run. Run away.
Henrik!
You're back. It cannot be. You must.
Did Loki do this to you?
Oh, Loki. He will pay. I swear to it. A soul stone. You have to bring one of them here. There's one in the room across.
So he didn't know we were coming. He was just basically talking to us out loud, like, you have to run away. Just muttering it. Alright, so he's been torn in half, but is still alive somehow. Maybe his intestines are still mostly attached. So this soul stone that's been sitting here this whole time actually did have a purpose. We just have to let him save his game.
Henrik! I found it! Henrik! Henrik!
Hold it up for me. Yes. No longer will I be contained. No longer feel this constant pain.
Henrik?
My dearest Sarah. She's dead. Loki. That sadistic fucker used the voice of my dead wife to make me do this dirty. Collecting the artifact piece and getting the Eye of Odin. It was all that he wanted. And I blindly did his work for him.
Well, I mean, we did the work. You just kind of
To try to undo
told us to do it.
I'm sorry that I have to ask this from you, but we have to enhance you again. We have to get the Jarngreipr back in. Next to my body, there's an eye. My eye. Go pick it up.
Do I have to? I don't really like second-hand bionics. Also, did Loki pull that out? Yeah, it's pretty far from his body.
You have both. Now, go to the room across from where I died. It has a surgical drone that can restore you.
Well, just when we got used to having, a full body of flesh again, we've got to sacrifice it for the greater good. And become a semi-machine again. So from the way he said that, I guess if you didn't pick up the Jarngreipr, you'd literally have to go back and get it before you could do this. At least this one doesn't have Loki in it. Now that he's out of the machine. How does it know what we want it to do? There's a little anesthetic. You know, we could probably save that arm in case we wanted it later. Also, it like drilled her eye out without affecting our vision. You need one of those little friendly machine voices that just goes, "Surgery complete."
The enhancement was successful. This isn't enough power to destroy Loki. We have to find more power to destroy that bastard. And to accomplish this, there are a lot of questions to answer.
Questions about me.
When Loki had you made, he had something in mind. A great purpose. Now I suspect we can find out more in Helheim. So I need you to find another route back there, and...
Helheim, stop ordering me around. If you know so much about me, then just tell me. I need to know.
When Loki cut my body in half in his indulgence of my torture, he spoke of his daughter. Her name was Hel, and she died long ago. The things he said makes me think that the artifact tissue used for your creation was from Hel herself.
Loki wanted his daughter back.
Yes, so he made you. Right now, nothing in Midgard has the power to stand up against Loki. So our best chance is starting at your roots and search from there. Since the Apsulov is out of control and the roots of Yggdrasil are spreading, there should be one leading to Helheim. Have you seen any route that could lead us there?
I did see one. In the West Wing.
Henrik, I literally died and came out of it.
It can take us to a place
She doesn't mention that, though.
To get out of Helheim.
And now we're willfully going to the world of the dead. This is crazy.
Alright, so we've got powered back up. We've got our eye. We've got our helpful companion in the form of Sphere Henrik. I think we're ready to go to hell.
To Apsulov research.
And yes, so because we were created from tissue from hell, that's why he asked us to pick one of the sigils at the start. I assume he wanted us to pick hell.
The keys open the Apsulov. The roots are going to start spreading faster. We better hurry.
Alright, I don't remember what wing that was. The West Wing? Gotta go to the other side. Can we jump over? Okay. Well, sweet dreams, Doggy Prince. And also me. Henrik, you think we should, like, take that down or something? But yeah, I think this is another case of finding a good reason to just reuse the same realms instead of adding more. Because we just came from hell, and we're going right back in there. Hey Henrik, I don't suppose you know the code to this. Because I do not remember it. I thought it was around here somewhere, but not seeing it. Is this? It's the North Wing. I passed the West Wing. West Wing is down here. Right, I forgot the sides are on the bottom. So we kind of knew we were going to have to go back this way because we saw that charger on the way. As well as that level 8 door. Also, you can see we're only missing one more cell. That last cell is behind that level 8 door.
This form, really strange. My senses, they're twisted. I can see with no eyes. I can speak clearly, but no throat.
I have no throat, but I can scream. I just choose not to. It's a lot of juice. So, I mean, it's still only like 2 or 3 shots of pulse. Yeah, didn't even see those on the way in. Alright, back to hell, which means going back down the elevator. Only this time, we're armed. 47 batteries. That's more than I ever had in my first playthrough. Though I also used them in more places, like, you know, when we were fighting the leeches. I actually used a bunch in that area, because I thought it would be worth actually fighting them. And I guess these guys are just attracted by the noise.
The keepers of Helheim. Evil humans that died and was cursed with the blood inside to atone for their sins.
It's a lot easier when you can just annihilate them. Though there are quite a few of them now. I don't think we can kill them all without using some batteries. Oh, you're not done yet. He didn't disintegrate right away. Alright, well at this point, it's either use batteries or basically avoid them like I said we'd have to in the first place. I just leaped right over one of them. There is so many. Now I think if I used a pulse when they're close together, I could kill more than one. Alright, they've lost track of me because they have really bad senses. Now it takes, I think, 2 hits for them to kill us, not 3? We just have to run down this hall and we should be able to lose them. Oh, that's a bad save. That's a bad save when they're right behind me. Yeah, we can't open that door. At least not yet. However, going back through this maze, we can just go over the top. Oh, damn. I still don't have any juice either, because there was no charger. Alright, so we came out of hell, and now we're going back into it in the same episode.
We have to get across that gap somehow.
And I guess because we didn't die,
Those pillars.
we kept our arm.
I'm not sure, but I think you can activate them with a shot from Jarngreipr.
I guess I slightly spoiled it by saying that it would be sequence breaking, but
Very similar to Atrium. I think you can charge the Jarngreipr with it.
hell has the same energy source as Mjolnir. has atrium-powered switches. Well, how did these ghosts get across the gap? We could actually, if we wanted to, destroy these guys with our arm as well. There's not a reason to. But I think if we do that, we actually disintegrate them from existence? Like, it destroys their spirit? Because, like, where else would they go from here? Or would they just, like, recoalesce into another spirit? Try to avoid stepping on the demons. The keepers of hell. At least you know when they're chasing you because the music kicks in. But again, like most things in this game, they don't pursue you very far. Unless they're scripted to. And I imagine that's probably, again, a difficulty adjustment when you're playing on the harder difficulties. That enemies likely detect you from farther away and chase you for longer. Welcome to the Hell Colosseum? Well, we also can't go back this way.
By Odin. It's exactly as in the books. The temple of the goddess Hel. Wait, what did the book say? Odin's heart filled with rage as his son drew his last breath. To bring him back from darkness, he paid his way with death. The gate will remain locked until the one demanding passage can prove themselves. It's unlocked with sacrifices.
Sacrifices? What type of sacrifices?
The keepers of Helheim, slaying 9 in the chosen hunting grounds close to the temple.
Wow, the book was pretty specific about that. So we're gonna have to go and actually kill some of these guys. One of the only times when it's not optional to kill enemies. But yeah, I still wouldn't really call that combat. It's more like solving a puzzle with death. Death being the key. Or I suppose the Jarngreipr being the key that unlocks their death. So this area is just kind of full of these guys, as well as full of charging stations. You just kind of have to wander around, find them, kill them, juice back up. It's also very dark in here. There are no proper light sources. It's also helpful that it tells you when you don't have enough charge to fire a shot when you start charging it. It blinks red.
That's 4. Only 5 more. And be careful.
Oops, that was not a charge. Why do I need to be careful, Henrik? I may not have the power to destroy Loki, but I do have enough power to wipe these guys out. As long as there's a convenient plug around. Shame Henrik didn't get around to upgrading the Jarngreipr with the USB port. Alright, what are we at? 6? 7? I don't even really know the layout of this area. You just kind of sprint around until you hear an enemy kill. Oh, that one lasted a second before it was vaporized.
That's all mine. And back to the gate. Quietly.
Again, why quietly? If there's more around, we'll just send him the same way. However, not knowing the layout means I also don't know how to get out of here exactly. Kind of just run around until we find the exit. I think we go this way, then this way. I think this is the way out. Ah, that was actually really easy to find my way out. I guess forget about being lost. Okay. We have proven ourselves worthy to enter the gates of hell. Or the gates of the Temple of Hell. Where resides Hel, Mistress of Helheim. A little confusing. They like sharing their names with the places they inhabit. Nine lights, 9 sacrifices. Alright. The temple stands before us. But what will we find inside? Well, that you'll have to find out next time, because we're going to save here. And is that a replica of the door of Apsulov? Or is that the 9 realms connected to Yggdrasil? Alright, so next time we'll venture into the Temple of Hell and see what kind of power we can find. Or information about our past as also Hell, but partially Alice? We're kind of a combination of the two, so we're not really either one. Anyhow, I've been Shadefire, and I hope you'll join me next time. Take care, everyone.